All right, so like the title says, we're testing a brand new 400 liter per hour TI automotive fuel pump. So I literally just took it out of the plastic and box. So it's a F90000262, the OG dual channel single stage DCSS TI automotive or Walbro fuel pump. So there she is in there. I put a filter sock, wire, plumbed it up, and we're ready to go. Let's kick it on. Alright, so we're going to dial it up to automotive standard of 13.5 volts. Did I nail it? I was looking at current. You almost got me. .5 volts, so 14.5, it's pulling 14.5 amps of current. If you watched my last video, the stock pump with a voltage booster was pulling like 15.5 amps of current. So even at 100% duty cycle, or near 100, you know, depending on what your alternator can put out, 13.5 is the standard for losses and lots of loads. I think typically when you see a pump peg in a data log, it's around 13.5 to 13.8 range. So, and your alternator voltage is anywhere from 13.8 to 14.2, depending on how strong your alternator is. But since the standard is 13.5 volts, that's what we're testing it at. Like I said, we're 14.4 amps. And yeah, the video I did earlier, actually I'll do a full comparison. So the stock pump pulls 12, and then with a booster pump or a voltage booster, 17.5 volts, it pulls 15.5 at 100% duty cycle. So this tells me if I'm even maxing out a 400 liter per hour pump, vice voltage boosting my stock pump, I'm still putting less heat into my fuel tank because my pump's drawing not as much current. It's cool. I'll have to do a better comparison after this video, but this one will just be you know, what's it flow and see what we get. So I've been sitting around 1.8. All right, that's at right at 39-40 psi. We'll dial it up to 40. The delta on the 05 Mustangs is 39.15, but the standard is 40. So let's crank her up a tad, right up to 40. Pretty steady at 1.8. It was bouncing up to 1.9. It's pretty steady at 1.8 at 13.5 volts. All right, let's do a little math real quick since I have to convert that to liters per hour because that's what everyone's used to seeing. Get this out of the way. All right. There are 1.8 gallons per minute. Conversion is 1 gallon per minute is 227.125 liters per hour. Put my calculator on here. So 1.8 gallons per minute times 227.125. 408.8. Let's call that 409 liters per hour. That's pretty good. It's pretty close to specified rating. I want to say there's multiple companies that do independent flow testing data for these newer TI automotive pumps. So a brand new healthy pump, 409 liters per hour. Yeah, I want to say TI automotive on the graph they posted for testing this pump at 13.5 volts, 40 psi. It was 405 liters per hour. So that's why even I often call this I often call this 262 a, hey look, the pump's actually cleaning some of that dirt. Catching some of that gunk. You know, that little dirt I got in there was from that stock fuel head I put in there that was dirty. I didn't clean it, but that's why we'll have a pre-filter and an inline filter just like it would be on the car. So yeah, there she is running. Again, 40 psi, steady at 1.8 gallons per minute. Steady at 13.5 volts, 14.56 amps. Notice the current's going up a tad, 0.1-ish, as the temperature increases. As the pump gets a little warmer, stabilizes. That's pretty good. That's not a lot of current. You know, if 409 liters per hour, if you're on a stock block setup looking to make 500 horsepower, you know, you're going to be at 75% duty cycle. So you're going to be at 70% of that voltage. You know, you're going to be at 10, 11 volts max. 12 volt. Let's say you took it to 80-90%, would probably be like 12 volts. That might be kind of cool to look at. Yeah, let's just say 11.8. It's only drawing 13 amps. So that's what you can expect in the car. 500 horsepower. This is a great stock pump replacement. It flows just as advertised or a tad better. Brand new pump. So that's cool. Also lets me know. Second pump I've tested, so I set the calibration on the first one for the specific gravity. So this is like in heptane. It has the closest specific gravity to gasoline. And that's what I set it for. So it looks like everything's looking great. Spot on. So there you go. That is the TI Automotive F90000262, or the Walbro 400 liter per hour, or 405, whatever you want to call it. Pretty good pump. Thanks.